Welcome to Generation Dragons episode 64. Steve, how are you?
Clint, my man, I'm doing well. And you?
Not too bad, not too bad, not too bad.
Cheers.
Tink.
Think.
Good thing that we're recording today on Canada's Beer Day. I'm drinking a nice autumn ale from our local brewery, Stray Dog. So it's not too bad. It's not too bad.
Doing better than I. So, well, today, did you want to kick it off? We're going to talk about the biggest, baddest Transformers there are, toy-wise.
Yes. Toys. Yeah.
So
toys.
In no particular order, I say we just, both of these, us could do this off the top of our heads and come out with them. But I'll let you kick it off today, man.
Yeah, for sure. I'll kick it off first off by saying thank you to everybody tuning in on our last episodes and all that good stuff. Keep tuning in, add comments and likes and follow the page, channel, I guess it's called. Anywho, yes, Steve. So, one thing that kind of rattles my mind that he's large, but he's not as large as he should be Primus.
Not a bad choice, actually. I thought the same thing. I think he looks way better than Unicron in planet forms from the Armada series, those two. But yeah, I found him a little on the small side, and I hated having to get the planet key lock in there to transform him. But he looks pretty cool.
That's why I still have mine in robot mode, because I don't want to transform it into planet mode. I know there's ways around it without the key and all that stuff, but I'm just not taking that risk. I just don't want to take that risk.
Yeah, I could bring my key over one time, and you can put it in planet mode if you want. But I actually like the way he looks quite a bit in the planet mode and how I have him displayed.
Yeah,
I have enough bots in this place everywhere,
Yeah. Well, if you want to go on to the next one there, Steve.
Yeah, the next one is the biggest Transformer ever made. Unfortunately, it's not something I have in my possession, and many people don't because of the extreme price. But that would be the HasLabs Unicron. It is massive. Yes. I think it was 27 inches tall and 30 inches wide. It's it's big.
It's pretty huge. Yeah, like we when we saw it and you saw it be announced and all that stuff, you were pretty gung ho and trying to get one.
Yeah, that near $1,000 price scared me though.
Yeah, exactly.
$100 Canadian. I could be wrong by a bit more, but I saw one in real life at TFCon, and somebody was carting them around in their stroller. So I thought that was pretty funny, but it was an easier way to carry them. It's like I can't even get both my hands in the screen here to show you. It was awesome. All right, you're up next, man.
Well, this is the one sought after one that I was chasing since the old years, probably a good 10 to 12 years. I think I was chasing after this one and found it at a Salvation Army. He is the largest, at least I believe he's the largest Transformer that you can purchase, and that would be Metroplex, and that's Generations. I guess it's Generations still, the Metroplex, and I'm missing a few pieces.
Is it War for Cybertron
it's like way old Generations.
So he's the tallest Titan class. Yeah, they have like Omega Supreme, which I'll take from the next one, but listed as the same height, but they're definitely not. You and I both have those pieces.
Yeah. Mine, they're standing, but they're literally beside each other, and there's no way they're the same height. So,
yeah, I think it's about a 2-inch difference or so.
Yeah. No, and I mean, I've always liked him, chased after him, as went from trying to find him to not buying them at $180 at Toys R Us to finding them at like Fan Expo in Toronto for $500, and then I bought them for $60 at Salvation Army. So win-win on that front.
Yeah, you actually got pretty lucky twice there. So
yeah.
Well, since I already mentioned it, I'll say Omega Supreme Titan class and G1. G1's pretty awesome too, but nowhere near as big as any of these later model Titan classes. But he just looks awesome. And if you transform him into the rocket mode and base, he's like really tall. But the tank is just really out disproportioned to him. Like the tank is just too big for the track and everything. But he looks amazing otherwise, and as a robot, just looks awesome. He's such a good play set because you can attach different pieces to him. And some of the I don't remember what they're called. The little guys are multiple pieces you put together. came out in the War for Cybertron line, stuff like that. But
not Combiner Wars, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Anyways,
yes, some of my buddies' kids have played with them when they're here. I'll snap it into different bridges and attach it, and stuff like that. But pretty cool. Anyway, just to keep this rolling, you want to take the next one?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the next one up for me is Fortress Maximus is one that I used to kind of sought after. I hummed and hawed when it first got released. Never picked it up when
the biggest G1
it was out.
Unless you're talking about Titan Class.
Well, I'm talking about Titan Class because I definitely was not around for G1 toys to be finding them, and now trying to find G1 toys, you're ridiculous prices. But yes, the Titan Class one is the one I'm talking about. Yeah, but
I missed out on that one too. I had to make a decision back then, and unfortunately, he was on the wrong end of the decision. I do miss it, but yeah, good pick because he's just phenomenal looking.
Yeah, he is one of the better looking Transformers.
I'm going to take one here that you probably haven't seen, or if you have, you just aren't as familiar with. But from Transformers Cybertron, Supreme Class Starscream. He is big. Like, I don't remember how tall he is. Did I actually look him up on that? I didn't. But he's a good size. He's got his crown on him. But I literally scored him like you did. I randomly saw him at a Valley Village complete. I'm like, yep, I'll grab that.
Yeah. Actually, I see him. Mine's sitting in the
you have him
in my glass cabinet. Yeah,
nice. That's right.
Yeah, and I can't remember where I got him from. I think it was just the same kind of like random one of those buy nothing sites my wife saw, and she saw it and was like, oh, hey, this person's giving away Transformers. And I was like, yeah, okay. And he just happened to be in it, so I had to take him. Yeah, exactly right. Next up for me, just the ones that I have that I remember is Devastator, and just as actually, I'll see Devastator. I mean, he's not one Transformer, he's Combiner, so it's kind of cheating, but he is one. It's too bad that they don't have that Devastator, the Titan Class Devastator that they released, that they didn't release any of the Combiners for the Autobots, right? Like but
they're like I'm always forgetting the name, the War for Cybertron ones and all that.
Combiner Wars, like Superions, Combiner Wars, but it's quite, right. It's not the same. They're not. They're not the same size, right? So
yeah. But nothing wrong with saying Gestalts or Combiners because a lot of them are pretty big, especially the aftermarket KO ones, and some are really good. But yeah, Devastator, good pick because I think he's 18 inches. Yeah, he's 18 inches, and he's big. And that was the first big Transformer I ever had as a kid. Technically, it wasn't mine. It was all me and my buddies putting them together from our different Constructicons. But that was cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go with, I'm going to change it to G1 because there's a lot. Oh, no, I got to say this one because I was too excited for this and glad I picked it up. The Ark. Have to go with the Ark.
Oh, yes.
He's the smallest
even
of the
though
Titan Class ones.
It should be one of the bigger ones, but
it should be like the biggest until you get to like, up to like Unicron and Cybertron and all those.
Yeah, well,
he carried all the Transformers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always thought it was such a cool piece. He came with the golden discs from Beast Wars. He came with Children 1, came with Cerebro, if I could speak. But yeah, that one I was excited for. I bought aftermarket pieces for it to make it look a little bit more triangular and more like the G1 cartoon version. I even painted it, and then, that's how excited I was about it, and blackwashed it to make it look dirty and things. Anyway, I'm getting too excited about it. I'll let you move on to the next.
Oh, just even on the Ark, I've still been keeping an eye on to see if it's dropped in prices. One place it's dropped. Yeah, it's one place it's dropped, but I'm not going to make the move on it yet. I got to wait a little bit longer. I mean, one that you don't have on this list, at least I don't see it, is Predaking. And again, Titan Class Predaking that I have, and he's a decent size beast.
forgot to add him just simply because I don't have him as a Titan class, and I had to settle for picking up a KO.
Oh, right. Yeah,
so
right,
I
right.
completely forgot he was a Titan. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
I wanted that one badly. You and my brother both picked them up, and I'm super jealous of it.
Just missed it.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
anyway,
and I mean he wasn't that hard. I think he was actually decently hard to find. I pretty sure I got him from Toys R Us, but he only ever had like one or two in stock. All the other places never carried them, so I think it was decently of a challenge to buy too.
yeah, I think he was over $200, and I think that's what kept me away at the
Yeah.
time. Because I remember when I first bought, like the first Titan I bought was Metroplex, and I didn't buy him right away because he was over $200, and then I think they dropped to 180. And that's when I picked it up, and then I think it was 160 something.
Yeah, when our dollar was strong.
Yeah, that's a good point. So anyway, moving on. I'm going to switch gears into G1 stuff, but I'm going to say Metroplex, the first original G1 Metroplex, bigger Transformer back then for sure. And I think he was 12 inches tall. He sits right about, but he had a play set. He was basically a play set. You could put the smaller Transformers, the mini ones in, and he just looked badass, so big and like muscular, as you can call him, robot muscular, but just that square shouldered design. Love that Transformer to death. But yeah. Anyway, switching back to you,
no, I mean Triptychon, just both on G1 and in the Titan class, both good size guys. I've seen the G1 at your place. The Titan class I've only ever seen in store like that. I mean, I don't know what the Titan class build quality is like.
It's because I almost picked it up over the G1 because that's a reissue G1 I have. So I went to TFCon, bought that one there because I wanted to just like the original one, and it walks and everything like the original one from the 80s. But I didn't realize it was broken right away. And I got up to the hotel room to put it away to come back to a panel. And I saw that one of the joints were broken. So I took it back. And the guy was super apologetic. And he offered me the same one because he had two more. Or I could have had the Titan class version. And I regret it now because it's bigger, better built. More had articulation and more joints. Kind of regret making that move. But at least I have one that looks like a G1. So.
True. Pass it off to you, Steve, but I think we're coming up near to the end anyways on the list of...
We already touched on Fortress Maximus. So he was the biggest G1 Transformer. But there's also Scorponok. He was the same size. So
right.
Scorponok, back then, before they made all these different versions of Scorponok, such as Beast Wars version, Scorponok. But that was a big one as well. I was never a fan of the Decepticon base Transformers or City Bots, simply because I didn't like them being animals or dinosaurs and things. Would have preferred it more like robot and more equal to fighting Metroplex or Fortress Maximus. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and there's a couple of honorable mentions I'll mention unless you want to grab them. So I was going to say
go ahead.
The Commander class Transformers, because they're pretty big and they're pretty nice looking. Specifically Jetfire, also known as Skyfire. He's really well done, and he's big. And then also Skylynx, which it's too blurry. You can't see him back there because I'm focused on myself, but I have him back behind me on the one side there. Half of it's fine as a shuttle, and the other half is his Lynx on the bottom. But
nice. Yeah, that is true. I didn't even think about that. It's I'm just looking at my guys here, but yeah, that makes sense. And then even some of the movie releases, like the movie Starscream and stuff like that, are decent size. That are
if you look at some of these MPs and KOs, like a lot of the MP Masterpiece Transformers out there are just big. Like Optimus, I got the first one like 20 years ago, the first Masterpiece one or more. My wife actually bought it for me, so it'd just be under 20 years. And I remember getting this thing, and the box is this big for an Optimus, and I'm like, and it's all die-cast metal on the top. He's got the Matrix, his gun, his Energon axe. It's like, this is the Optimus I always wanted.
So
So, but
True.
now there's that Robo Sapien version of Optimus Prime, but it's like $1,000. But that thing is pretty awesome. No, so
truth. Yeah, that is true.
yeah.
Well, good sir. I
Coming
think
up to
we've hit
time.
the list. Yeah, and I
Don't
think we've
forget
hit the
this.
list of. Oh yeah, sorry, Steve. I didn't grab mine, so why don't you talk about it if you'd like?
Yes. So not related to our list here, but the reason this is significant is one of my best friends bought this for my birthday. Thank you, Clint.
No
And
problem. No problem.
he ordered these just before the Queen died, and they're from the Royal Mail in England. And just correct me if I'm getting any of this wrong, because you're the one that actually purchased them. But they're the last set of stamps issued by the Royal Mail with the Queen on them, because now it'll be the King going forward. So, kind of a collector's piece now.
Yep, this is true. It's true, and they have AR to them, augmented reality. Don't ask me how to do it. Haven't done it yet, but it's pretty cool.
I haven't either.
It is pretty cool.
Literally, it's been sitting with my pile of books and comics and magazines to read from my birthday a few weeks ago, and I finally got to it, and then I was just impressed, but I haven't done any of the extras yet.
No, but it looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. So, Steve, as always, friends, everyone, thank you for tuning in today as we, list off the largest Transformers toys. We're, excited. Steve and I, in a good combination of both of all of the toys. Missing a few. Anyways, if we've missed any on the list, feel free to drop them in the comments and let us know what you thought. Steve, as always,
keep collecting,
keep gaming.
And keep safe out of here. Ding.
Dink.